is our public input portion of the meeting. I'd just like to remind everyone there's 1 3-minute limit per speaker. Is there anyone who would like to address the board?
I have a question.
Pardon?
I have a question.
Okay.
Well, let me ask my question first. My question, I just want to know if the fence law that was so hotly debated last spring is being enforced, because my perception is that there are a lot of temporary fences that are up all over town, month after month after month. So I'm just wondering if my perception is wrong, if the law is being enforced, or if I'm mistaken that temporary fences are allowed.
Temporary fences in reference to what again?
Well, you drive like across from East Chapel and up by Thompson Road, you see these little strips of orange tape.
Well, that's that orange construction fence, that stuff they put from stake to stake?
Yeah, and I was under the impression, and of course I probably may be wrong, that the new town law wasn't going to allow those to remain up over 30 days. And
I'll review it and I'll get in touch with you, but I believe that they're allowed, temporary fences are allowed during the winter because of snow fences.
no,
But, I mean, I know the one you're talking about, and that's different, but
Yeah.
it doesn't make a distinction between if it's being used for a snow fence or if it's being used for a barricade.
Yeah. Plus that one there, like basically the reason why they put that up there because everybody was backing in there and dumping things off.
Well, wasn't the purpose of the town, of the fence law, if they needed a fence, to put up a proper fence?
Well, I think that was next to neighbors is what the situation was. The situation where you're talking about is that property's owned by Chuck Abbey. And that property there, everybody was backing in there with their blacktop trucks and
Oh, I understand
they were
that.
just dumping everything. That's why he put that up there.
Oh, and I can understand if you want a fence up there. My interest is, I'm just wondering if the type of fence, if he is covered under the fence law so that he should have a proper fence, or if he could put up that type of fence and just leave it up month after
Yeah.
month.
Well, Wayne will check into it for you.
Okay, thanks.
Is anyone else who'd like to address the board?
Evening. Name is Mallette, 6346 East Taft Road. Got a couple of questions for the board, if I might. On January 26th, you approved a resolution for a BAN. Is that correct?
That's not correct.
Was the money issued yet, or was the BAN taken out yet?
No. There was no resolution for a BAN, and no money has been taken out has been received from a BAN.
No, because a little arithmetic tells me the town's taxpayers are going to be in the hook for about $250,000. I'm speaking of regular taxpayers now. I'd like to read a quote from our President Obama, our new President Obama. He says, accountability and transparency. This is your money. You have a right to know where it's going and how it's being spent. Learn what steps we're taking to ensure you can track our progress every step of the way, end quote. On January 26, I appeared before this board and asked a couple of questions regarding the resolution, asking the following questions. I asked the town, has a guarantee in this money from whom Mr. Dinsky replied, yes, from the state and from the federal government. I then asked, do you think have a signature on something, Mr. Dinsky? He replied, yes. I think the easiest way for me is to give you the information so you can read it, as it was maybe difficult for you to hear. Okay. I assume the entire board is aware of my request sent to the Freedom of Information Officer, in which I requested that each board member receive a copy of my request. Everybody get it? You didn't get the? Huh, okay. I conversed with your town clerk and town controller and town clerk on many occasions. I received a copy from a letter from Mr. Mark Cologne, the Metropolitan Planning Organization, notifying Barry Supervisor's statement. I also asked for a complete accounting of all money spent or received for this project. I did receive some vouchers showing that some of the trips taken by Mr. Dzinski and his guests were billed on a Chase Visa card. I recall that when about these trips, Mr. Dudzinski stated that Wallace Law Firm paid the expenses and then billed the town. Anybody recall that, Mr. Conway?
Yeah.
You don't recall that, huh? The other day at the poll, you told me you did, okay. This raises the question, how many trips were taken to Washington? And where is the accounting that I asked for? I also asked for a resolution authorizing the town of Cicero to apply for this credit card. Nobody's ever given me an answer on that one. I have seen many of these documents. Some of you have been on the board for some time. Correct me if I'm wrong in this statement. Okay? Does anybody in this board feel that this is privileged information for the town board only?
Roy, if you got a list of questions, why don't you submit them to the town board and then we'll get back with you.
I didn't hear you.
If you have questions to the town board, submit the questions and we'll get back with you.
Okay. Mr. Dudzinski, you're chief fiscal officer of the town. Would you answer this question? Is the BAN application been approved?
Roy, I just asked you, if you got questions, submit them to the town board and we'll get back with you.
To do
Mr.
what?
DiStefano, would you explain to him what I just said? I don't think he can hear me. I understand that you're his attorney or something.
Would you
I'm not
speak in the
sure.
microphone, please?
I am, I'm about 1 inch away from it.
Okay.
And my question was, if you have questions, submit them to the town board, we'll get back with you.
Okay. I got some questions for the town board, so I don't see them here tonight. But I'm surprised that this board doesn't know what's happening. Thank you.
Is anybody else who'd like to address the board? Heather,
Nothing else this evening, thank you.
Michelle,
Nothing, thank you.
Vern,
Nothing.
Charlotte,
Nothing.
Billy,
Nothing.
Jimmy,
Nothing.
Tracy,
No.
Sharon.
No, thank you.
Being no further business, meeting adjourned.